right, boys and girls, welcome back to the Nebraska Fighting Game Community Roundtable. As you can see, with the little coronavirus edition here, the pandemic has gotten even worse since last week, so I think most of our discussion is going to be focused on that. But how we feeling, Dame? How we feeling, George?
Feeling good. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
You work today, George?
What is that? I'm pretty good.
You work today?
I don't know. Today I have the day off.
Seems like Wednesday is a good day for you, strangely.
Yeah, I usually get Wednesdays off, Wednesdays and Sundays.
Damn, did you hear that, tournament organizers? We can get George out as long as we plan around Wednesday.
If you moved TLF to Sunday, I'd be there every week.
God damn,
I think got stuff going on Sunday, right? That Max Rage thing.
We do. I've never seen you at
Oh, yeah,
Max
that's
Rage.
a 2D. True, I never do. I had never been to that Max Rage. Maybe one. You guys just play what? Street Fighter?
Grand Blue mostly nowadays.
No, Grand Blue. Probably sneak over there for some Grand Blue.
Yeah, you the Lancelot of Nebraska, right?
I think Eric has a few words for him.
I think Eric will probably be better than me. He's actually got 2D fundamental.
Damn, the 2D fundies.
He taught me the matchup, so yeah, we'll get into Grand Blue in a second. But I don't know. First of all, I kind of want to do a little bit of a quip for everyone. First of all, from all of us, where it's like a new factoid or some random thing about us three, and I thought today would be a perfect little first fighting game / favorite fighting game ever. How about you start this off, George? Put you on the spot.
My first fighting game was Tekken 2, and I just remember I played it at one of my brother's friend's house, and it's like one of those things where I was just immediately like, yeah, I need to buy this game. I need this game. And my favorite fighting game, I mean, I'd probably just have to give it to Tekken 7 just because
7.
I've just had the most fun playing it, and it's the game that I've been the best at, and I've actually kind of taken it seriously and gone to tournaments and stuff. So definitely Tekken 7.
Has been a wild ride for 7. I'll give you that. How you feeling, Dame?
So my first fighting game was also George's. It's also Tekken 2. So back in the day, I was a pretty big Bruce Lee fan. So immediately I was drawn to picking martial law. This is before my Mishima days. So I was just mashing flip kicks like nobody's business, thinking I'm the best in the world.
I think you should pick up law nowadays.
Maybe. I'm thinking about it. His DSS stuff is kind of tricky, but that's something I could always learn.
That's true.
I mean, how you say DSS is tricky, but you're doing electrics.
Yeah, you got a point there. In terms of the favorites, okay, so this is a game that rewards good-ass fundamentals.
Uh-oh.
Doesn't have any dumb comeback mechanics. It's got a badass soundtrack. And in an optimal setup, there's next to no input lag at all.
Oh, God.
It feels super good
this.
to play. So, that game, Koihime Enbu. The only drawback is the rollback netcode, but it's a good-ass game. Me and Cal were playing Grand Blue one day, the first week it came out, and then we switched to Koihime, and we were like, damn, how much better does this feel? It's night and day. So everybody play Koihime. That's my plug. It's a good game.
This was basically a platform for Dame to try to get us into that weeb game again. Okay. I should have saw that one coming. I walked into that one. Nice. Let's see here. My first fighting game was Street Fighter 2 World Warrior on the Super Nintendo. I lived in a town of like 70 people when I was really young. And these kids let me trade Donkey Kong Country for Street Fighter 2 World Warrior. I thought that game was horrible. Absolutely terrible. Nobody told me about special moves or anything, and I just got demolished by the CPUs, but I don't know. I had nothing else to do, so I learned how to be really good at that game pretty young. Favorite fighting game? It would probably be Tekken 4 because it was my first like real competitive fighting game, and I still really adore how different it is compared to the rest of the series. That's a pretty controversial take, probably, since it's most people's least favorite Tekken, I'm pretty sure. Um, yeah, so little factoid, I think. I don't know. I don't know if we'll keep doing this, but I'm sure Dame will find a way to turn this into Koi Jaime every single week, so we'll see.
You betcha.
First topic is current generation fighting games are getting pretty damn old. I want to hear your opinions on whether the devs should start focusing on creating the next IPs, as far as like Tekken 8 maybe, or Street Fighter 6, or they should keep milking what we have until at least PS5 is well situated in the consoles. Start with you, George.
I think I think Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 has to wait for the next generation. I think it would suck if they came out with like Tekken 8 like the last year of PS4 and then ported it over to PS5, because then they're just limited in terms of like how much they can upgrade the graphics without putting in a lot of work. But I mean, I would say that, you know, Tekken 7's been out for a while and it is getting kind of old, but I don't really know what else they could do. I mean, maybe take the assets and create like some sort of, I don't know, like another game that's like kind of like, you know, they did with Tekken Revolution, but not Tekken Revolution. Maybe like Tekken, and throw in like, come up with 8 new characters as like guest characters or something, and then just release that as like a mid interim sequel to Tekken 7, in between Tekken 7 and Tekken 8.
So you're cool with Tekken 7 for 2 more years, even though we've been playing this game since fucking 2015.
I would rather that than have some PS4 game get ported to PS5. I want Tekken 8 on PS5 to be like, the graphics need to be like groundbreaking and the effects need to be crazy.
I do agree, but consoles, the leap from console to console is becoming so small now that I don't see why they wouldn't be able to make like some shitty version for the PS4 and some good version on the launch of PS5. Kind of like Tekken Tag Tournament 1 for PS2. That was basically a super modified version of the arcade release.
Plus, I don't think that like Namco's in any rush until like Street Fighter 6 is even like hinted at.
That's true. That's true. They kind of.
I'm sure both companies are working on something, but I don't think they're in any rush to release them until, you know, the next. Because, you know, like, you know, see, Guilty Gears come out with different iterations and all this type of stuff, and Blaze Blue, but I don't think, like, I would say like Namco and Street Fighter are kind of like on a different kind of release schedule, and so I don't think they're gonna release it until one of the other one gives them a reason to.
I tend to agree with you. I think we should probably ride it out until the PS5 is pretty well situated, but God, it's pretty crazy to think that we're going to be heading into 2022 playing Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 5. Well, I mean, most people outside of Nebraska play Street Fighter 5. I wish there was like some really big IP that could come in and sneak in. So what do you think about it, Dame?
I think we should move on to Tekken 8.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be a controversial opinion here, but right now I feel like there's a lot of bloat in the cast right now. Going back, and I remember playing the arcade version. I think the first Anime Expo I went to was 2017. They had the Tekken 7 cabinets up. Fucking Rip and Tasty Steve were on stage showing the game. It was a good time. But right now, instead of another season, and if they keep adding more and more characters, it's going to become more and more bogged down, I think, with things in the game. So I think this is a good time. If it's a release title for the PS5, instead of having another season, I think that would be perfect, honestly. You talked about having maybe an interim game, and I may be jumping ahead of myself a little bit here, but Harada did mention Virtua Fighter.
That's literally a segue. You did
segue
good.
Say Jam over here.
Yep.
I will say, I think that like the games as a service or whatever is like the future. So I do think like Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6, they're gonna come out bare bones, and you know, 5 years later, it's gonna be like a completely different game. Like way more characters, way more features, way more functions, but it's just gonna be by design. And I think Street Fighter Five, or I think Street Fighter Five was like that, but maybe just a little bit ahead of its time.
It
I think
was.
by
I
design
mean,
it was bare bones.
yeah. I agree, and I like the way they do that. But the thing is I like the games when they are in their like first season, when I don't have to learn fucking 49 matchups. So yeah, I do want Tekken 8 just so I can stop having to be like, what the fuck does Lei Wulong do?
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know. I'm so sandwiched in the middle. I feel like I love where Tekken 7 like has ended up. I feel like it is a lot of people's favorites like Tekken, but I mean eventually we're gonna have to move on, and the cast is going to have to shrink down below 50 someday.
I will say one thing that I think is like I think it's kind of a problem with Tekken 7 now is like so Tekken by design builds off of the last game. And so like you can look at like say for example take King in Tekken Tag Tournament 2 and compare him to his Tekken 7 version, you can go through his entire move list. You could say this move got buffed, this move got nerfed, etc., etc. But like if you look at like King in Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is not that good a character. In Tekken 7, he's really good character. So like
Oh
in
yeah.
Tekken 8, what are they gonna do with King to really like change him up? They could give him one or two new moves, like maybe make a new combo. Like I'm wondering like what are they gonna do in Tekken 8? Because in Tekken 7 they changed a lot. They changed the screw system, they put Rage Drive, Rage Art, they put Power Crush, like and that was a big change. Say if you take even just Tag 2, like the tag elements, take that gameplay versus Tekken 7 gameplay, and they added a lot to it. So what are they gonna do in Tekken 8 to build off of it? I wonder because you can't just keep buffing. That's one thing about like all these balance patches. You can't keep buffing characters when the game itself isn't changing that much. Because eventually, I don't know, every character is going to be homogenized or ridiculous,
Yeah,
or
power crap.
they're not even gonna
Right,
not even
right.
gonna know what they're gonna do. Like
And to build off of that point, they have retooled characters in the past. I know Heihachi has gotten a lot of changes in terms of twin pistons not being a launcher anymore,
Ooh.
and he losing his child tossing moves. They do switch moves around. You might get stuff back. You might lose some things, but I know King got like some Armor King moves this game, right? And then Armor King
right,
came back anyways, so they could do a lot of different things. I feel they aren't boxed in essentially to only building on what they have.
Well, the two systems that need to go away in both games iterations, Street Fighter and Tekken, Screw needs to go away in the next game. It homogenizes wall carry. I really don't like it. And Crush Counter needs to go away in Street Fighter. Those two are on the chopping block for me.
I think with the screw, I think they should bring back Bound,
Yeah, bring
but
back Bound
Yeah.
straight up.
think no, but keep screw and like make a conscious decision about this move is screwing and this move is bounding and balance characters around that. Like some characters have really good bounds or really good screws, or some characters don't have screws, or some only have bounds. I think that'd be a lot more interesting
It would be more
because you'd have
interesting. But
characters who have not good wall carry because they have bounds, but then they get more damage at the wall because they could wall bound versus the screw characters, or however you want to do it. But I think that would add to the uniqueness of the characters for sure.
I'm in for that. But I don't know. Yeah, there needs to be something to at least separate it, because just about everyone can get you to the wall in one hit nowadays. And yeah, the damage in Tekken 7's starting to annoy me a little bit.
It's getting out of control.
Yeah.
I think that's just fighting games in general, right?
Yeah. Yeah, damage is definitely pretty. Unless you want to play Dragon Ball, then you'll be there all week.
I feel
But
like high damage is what fighting games are moving towards.
I think people do like it. It creates a lot of like, I don't want to say artificial hype, but it can. I mean, comebacks are much more likely if everything you do can do Half-Life.
I think people just want to do big damage.
That's true. It is fun to be like, wow, I'm super cool. I just pressed 5 buttons and took a half of their life. Unless you're like Lee, and then yeah, okay, I respect you. But yeah, Dame mentioned earlier that Harada has been teasing a lot of Virtua Fighter on his Twitter, and it's kind of pointed, like maybe he's trying to hint at there being a new Virtua Fighter, or maybe he has some involvement in it, and that would solve my current complaint that we're playing very old fighting games. Is there a chance in hell that we get Virtua Fighter 6 before even Tekken 8? Dame?
You know, with Harada, you never really know with him. He could be trolling, he could be teasing us. But now that he's like a head honcho, one of like the big wigs at Bamco now, anything could happen. You know, if he can pull the right strings, he can make this thing happen. I personally wasn't super into fighting games when Virtua Fighter was popping, but I'd be down to play another 3D fighter that isn't complete trash. So who knows? You might even make like a cross Virtua Fighter game with Tekken.
I'm even
sick.
into the cross, yeah. I'll do a
Yeah.
tag game even, fuck. How you feeling, George?
I don't think it'll happen just because it's been a long time since VF5 came out.
10 years
And I bet
since
it didn't
FS.
sell very well, at least in America. It would be dope for sure. And I think Harada would be the guy to do it. I don't know what the Sega people are doing, but I think Harada would do it justice. I
Yeah.
think, I've always said I think that the next Tekken game should just be Tekken versus everybody. And just add, keep Geese, Akuma, Noctis, and add like the guy from Yakuza, add Virtua Fighter characters, add, Blaze Blue, Soul Bad Guy, whoever you want, Mario, Sonic, whatever.
Well,
Yeah, that
That's what I
must be
think
why
the
they
next
haven't
game should
added Kiryu yet. They're saving him for Virtua Fighter.
fuck yes. Fuck
Maybe
yes.
that's what it is. I would love it if they brought back Virtua Fighter, but it's been a long time with no sign, and so who knows? I would love it if people just need to make more 3D fighters. Is the thing.
I agree. They're very much niche now, but Tekken 7 was a massive hit. Like pretty normal quote unquote people know about Tekken 7's success, which is crazy to me. So it might introduce the door to a Virtua Fighter somewhere in there. And if it was produced by Harada and Namco, they could fix the most glaring weakness with Virtua Fighter, and that is their horrible presentation and sound design. He's like, I don't think Tekken's the most like
True.
like amazing fighting game of all time. I mean, I love Tekken. I have been playing since Tekken 1, but like design wise, the thing I like about Tekken is not the gameplay, it's like the design of the game. It sounds great, it looks great, everybody's cool. Virtua Fighter's the opposite. Everyone looks awful, everything sounds awful, everything looks stupid.
But that's the charm. I will say the hit sounds and the voice, like the grunts or whatever. It's like that's like old, except for the new characters. That's like they're using that since like VF2.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would definitely need to modernize if they wanted to make a new game, though. It can't be like Mortal Kombat where the shitty animation is just legacy.
Yeah. Well,
I would
Harada
like to
loves
see
that.
like if you look at like Marduk in like Tekken 5, he's just wearing like his shorts or whatever, he's shirtless. Then if you look at him in Tekken 7, he's wearing like the hoodie and it's like super colorful and he really got the glow up. So I would like to see the Virtua Fighter cast get that glow up. Like you got, what is it, Sarah Bryant, she just wears like a blue jumpsuit. I want to see the glow up. And Wolf, he just wears blue shorts and wrestling shoes. I want to see them swag out.
What would Akira's glow up
Good
be?
I don't know. Whatever they did to Ryu.
Yeah,
Get
red
him in that Red
headband
Bull costume.
from Alpha to
Yeah, literally
mainline
just put a
Street
headband on him and be like, cool, it's done. Fuck.
Get him some traditional.
Fighter. Give him
I
a
don't
beard,
know.
whipped up gi. I don't know.
A beard would be the easiest one for sure. That's what they did to Ryu.
Yeah,
True,
only that
beard,
was
beard
his
would be
main-
easy.
his main default.
Age him up. Maybe give him like a gray streak through his hair.
Dude, make him Shun Di. Make him like an alcoholic that like I'm fucking into that.
Give him an eye patch. There we go.
Eye patch, I'm into that too. Dude, see, Arata has so much to play with here. And he loves like weird shit where like something has been in since VF1. He'll probably keep the sounds from VF1 and he'll like just like put reverb on them or something and be like, cool, we're done. Yeah, really, there needs to be another 3D fighter because I don't think Soul Calibur's ever going to challenge Tekken. So there's not really anything like, you need some competition in the 3D space, I think. So it'd be nice to see another one. It doesn't even have to be Virtua Fighter.
Yeah, talking
True,
about
true.
like mechanics on the chopping block. I think lethal hits
Oh, fuck
in
yes.
Soul
Lethal
Calibur.
hits.
Oh man,
The worst mechanic of this generation, and it's fed into so many other games. Like, it's in Mortal Kombat 11 now. What's the other one? There's 3 games that have it. Is it DOA?
I don't know, maybe.
I think it
I
might be
believe it.
DOA actually. But yeah, that's the most garbage mechanic since the creation of fighting games. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to go into for VF. I'm just hoping, praying, and I hope it's not a monkey paw situation where, comes out and it's some shitty like gotcha mobile game.
I will say, I think speaking of gotcha, I think Tekken 8, they need to just like all the customization stuff needs to be gotcha or
Oh god,
gotcha,
no,
whatever.
what are you thinking?
They need to
don't they
turn the
already do that with
customization. That's how
treasures?
they make. That's how they're gonna make millions with this game with Tekken 8. All the
Oh
customization
man,
items you get them in like booster packs or whatever, and give you like a chance you might get a booster pack when you rank up
you
or
know,
whatever.
if they
But
make
then people will
Tekken 8,
spend money.
if they
Like
make
you
Tekken 8
gotta
free to play,
get like the
I could get
Josie
behind that.
bikini is like a 5-star rare. And then if you want to get it in a different color, you got to re-roll to get it in a different color or something like that. It's genius.
I mean, it's hard pressed to disagree, but I mean, I don't want to deal with
You
that.
don't want to, yeah, you don't want
I
to
Unless
mean,
turn
you
this
guys.
into
I mean, you
DOA.
guys really about the customization though.
I'm not. I can't lie, but I do like to like dress my lucky Chloe up like an absolute douchebag.
Well, you'll get your chance as long as you play enough games. Just make it. You play 10 games a day or whatever. You get one free chest or something like that.
Well, if
Make there
there's
be
like
login
something,
bonuses.
yeah, if
I
there's,
think I think they're gonna take the phone game way to engage people on a daily basis and try to inject that into fighting games. I mean, Street Fighter Five kind of has that, honestly,
yeah,
because it has like the weekly quests or whatever, and it's got like the limited time you fight Golden Chun Li or something like that. You get the Beautiful Joe costume or something.
I am into the idea, but I hope they do it a little more organically than like, an Overwatch or something. And I hope that some of the skins or loot boxes or whatever, some of that proceed goes to like the World Tour or something. If they did it that way, I'm more okay with it.
Yeah, they could do that for sure.
Dame, you were saying something? Go on.
Oh, yeah, if they went that route, I'd want them to make Tekken 8 free to play, like they kind of tried with a little bit with Street
Revolution.
Fighter 5, but Street Fighter 5 was still paid to get in, and then you had to pay for the cosmetics too, which was really whack. So there's a lot of different avenues they could explore, but that League Fighter is coming out, and the League system is super successful. They have a free to play game with a bunch of cosmetics.
Yeah.
True.
Everyone's trying to emulate the League of Legends model right now. So, yeah, it makes sense, but I'm the resident boomer, so I'm gonna be drugged, kicking and screaming into 2020. I think we should probably just break right into it and talk about the global pandemic going on in the world right now. We have a little coronavirus edition sticker on the podcast today because yeah, it's been classified as a pandemic, and as a result, basically everything in the month of March in fighting games, in music, in television, whatever the fuck, if people are in a room, it's been canceled. South by Southwest, Coachella, they're talking about maybe canceling the Tokyo Olympics.
Canceled E3.
They canceled E fucking 3. Yeah. But final round's not going down. Larry on Facebook says as long as you don't fist bump, hug, do any of that shit, you'll be all right. He's going through with it. The ball's on this man.
Damn.
So, I
It's
mean,
right on the East Coast too. They're affected by it. So
yeah. How are we feeling today versus last week?
I think it's gonna be big for sure. Like I'm sitting here wondering, like, if I mean I work in a restaurant, and if it gets like bad enough, they're basically, I'm sure they're probably just gonna say like, non-essential businesses shut down.
You're just
So if
hoping
my
for
restaurant
that.
shuts down, I'm just like, what am I gonna do?
Well, you get a nice, well-deserved vacation, George, as we said last week.
I'm just wondering, like, so say like, I mean, I'm talking about this is just real life, not even fighting games. Like, all these businesses are going to close, maybe, if it gets bad enough, and it probably will, because it seems like our government ain't doing shit about it. But all these businesses are going to have to close. Like, that's a lot of people without jobs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm just wondering, like, what the fuck is going to happen?
Well, the good news is that I don't. I'm still on the fence where I'm no virologist, but I think most people are gonna catch the fucking flu for 2 weeks and get better. So I don't know if it's necessarily going to paralyze our economy for 3 months. Personally, let's ask our
I mean, I
virologist
think.
Dame how he feels. Is that
Well,
accurate?
according to my studies, well, I saw a tweet from Endgamer the other day about how everyone is blowing this way out of proportion. So there's my research, and I'm inclined to agree with him to a certain extent. Um, the effect on the economy is pretty bad, and I think that's the economy is kind of controlled by people's reaction to it, and people are reacting pretty horribly. And I think the media isn't handling the coverage very well.
No, they're
And
not.
for us young people, if we catch it, who gives a shit? We'll feel shitty for a week or two. But I guess if you're living in a household with elderly people, you might want to be more careful as to not spread that around.
Yeah,
Because like the mortality rate for the older generation, the boomers, is a bit higher. So yeah, they told me to take my laptop in case I need to work from home. I have that luxury, thankfully. They also told me to make my own hand sanitizer with essential oils, so I don't know about that.
you go to Whole Foods
Yeah,
and pick up like a nice little dime bag of
I might
essential
just
oil.
do that. Yeah,
That's crazy
yeah,
talk.
that is crazy talk.
The state basically told me, they were like, even though you open mail for like 1 hour a day to start the day, we don't really give a shit. You're not gonna get coronavirus. Don't worry. That's the state, man.
Damn, state don't give a
State
shit.
don't give a shit. They're like, do your goddamn job. These tax
Especially
returns ain't opening themselves. Um, there's another thing. Justin Wong has dropped out of all the events in March, obviously, and that's caused like a little bit of a domino effect to where a lot of other people have canceled every major that they were going to, including final round. So that made a lot of um, people start to cancel their events. So I'm hoping this domino doesn't drop to where Combo Breaker gets dominoed, because that's in May and that's not that far away. Um, what's the likelihood of that, Dame?
I'm not sure about the likelihood, but I sure hope it doesn't happen because that's one event that I'm actually planning on going to, and you both should as well. um, yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. I know Justin Wong has gone home and he's a family man now with a kid, so he has to put family first, and that's understandable. But yep, the circumstances are pretty unfortunate with all of the events starting up, but they're falling like dominoes, as you said. Only final round is left from these early batch of tournaments.
And
I
I
know
still
NorCal
can't believe
Regionals
that.
is gone now too. It's ridiculous. I know the guys at Arxis were about to like cancel their whole character reveal for Guilty Gear, but then they said later like, "Oh, we'll just upload it on YouTube," and so everyone had a sigh of relief there.
Oh, geez, I didn't even know that. So
Yeah.
it's really fucking everything up for everyone.
I think it's gonna get big. I think maybe I think it depends on where you live partially. Like I don't know if like say Nebraska is gonna be as big as like say New York, but I think it's definitely gonna affect a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think hella people are gonna get it, but I think, hella people get the flu and they die from the flu just the same. So I think it might be like a
True,
really
true.
bad flu. But I'm no virologist. That's my don't listen to me.
I mean, I just like even just think about like E3's canceled, so like any fighting game announcement at E3, are they just gonna announce it like around that time? Are they gonna do like a live stream, smaller type of announcement? Like even just like all the games, not even just fighting games, but like when's the E3 announcements? Where are those going?
That is interesting. I was gonna say that most fighting games have kind of gone away from any E3 announcements. I remember when like Tekken 7 was being developed in arcades, they never
Right.
revealed anything about it at E3 ever. It was always at like Tokyo Game Show or some like arcade convention. I mean, Tekken 7 was in arcades for like what, 2 years, and it went through 5
I think so,
revisions.
yeah.
So there was a lot to announce with that game.
Yeah.
Akuma was announced at the World Finals. I remember that. So
Yeah, a lot of the fighting games just announce them at their own events nowadays,
yeah,
which is
Right.
cool.
I think a lot of people in other genres are going that way too, because like they don't really
Hmm.
need the E3 machine anymore.
I think Nintendo kind of spearheaded that because they just started doing live streams instead of showing up and acting a
Yeah, and
fool on
PlayStation
stage.
dropped out too in suit. So
That's true.
who's there anymore?
Nintendo did. I don't want to say start it because I don't know if that's true, but they really perfected it because everyone like stops what they're doing and watches those directs.
I mean, I think it's just better because there's always some goofy shit that happens during the live
Right.
presentation,
Jason
or some
Derulo pops
awkward
out and dances for
celebrity,
like half an
some
hour.
awkward
It's like,
celebrity or
okay.
whatever.
I fucking miss
Like, just
Reggie.
record it, and then there's no, just make them read a script, record it, and then boom.
It's so much easier, yeah, and you don't have to deal with all the fucking. Oh, well, I mean, coronavirus is the world. You just get to do it on some fucking random Twitch stream.
I wonder if they might just do like a big like digital E3 or something, and just like marathon a bunch of announcements essentially.
I mean,
Yeah, who knows?
maybe. That kind
Yeah.
of that kind of goes into the a nice segue where all of these events are being canceled, and a lot of people have already put the time, money, and effort into getting those off the ground, so they're losing so much money. A lot of the personalities in the FGC who make money from commentary or, the actual pots at these events, they're kind of SOL for, a month or two probably. So that really sucks.
Yeah,
I imagine
it's just a
State
bad
Jam
time
is
for.
gonna
I mean,
start streaming.
it's always a bad time for coronavirus, but
Yeah, it's never a good time. When Coachella has to be postponed, that it's probably serious.
I mean, they're saying like the NBA. They're saying they're gonna start playing games in with no fans in the stands.
Yeah, but LeBron won't do that apparently.
He walked it
Huh.
back. He walked it back. But apparently,
LeBron.
like, was it San Francisco? Like, basically forced them to. They weren't originally going to the Warriors, but then San Francisco basically said, "No, you're doing this." And same with Washington State, Washington Wizards.
Really?
So it'll probably come to pretty much all the rest of the teams at some point. And I guess they're like, everybody's talking about the league might move games to, they might play in away cities. Say, if the Warriors might just play in the away teams, even if it's a home game, they might play in the away arena, just because they're not infected. Or they might switch them to, arenas in cities that aren't infected. So who knows? Maybe we could get an NBA game here, get the NBA Finals here.
We had like a
But
preseason like 2 or 3 years ago with the Mavericks, I remember.
but yeah, they're deciding, or they might, postpone the season. They're even saying, although that's probably not gonna happen. But
That's not
it's
gonna
an
happen.
option on the table.
I mean, as long as we make it to like summer, I think, that's when the flu dies basically. So June, we're good.
I think the fear with that is that it will go away in the summer and then come back potentially stronger in the winter.
If it happens, it happens. I want a nice vacation winter break. So please come back stronger, coronavirus. Um,
I just want to see LeBron win this chip, and the coronavirus is getting in the way.
I hope it actually like shuts down the NBA like when he's on Game 7 of winning the championship. They're like,
It's
fuck
40
it.
points up.
Yeah.
They just cancel the game.
Mid game, they're like, fuck it. We gotta go, dude. Apocalypse.
Yeah, pull an NRS.
Coronavirus about
Cancel it
to
last
tarnish
second.
LeBron's legacy.
Oh, dude, that's a good point. Dame brought it up where NRS had a last chance qualifier for their basically their world tour. And
We're at the final combat.
yeah, absolutely last minute, like at least 24 hours before they announced that they're canceling the last chance qualifier, having nobody in attendance. So it's just the, I don't know, 15, 16 players for Final Combat, no last chance qualifier. So there were so many people who were already on their planes flying out, and then got announced that it was canceled while they were in transit. That's so another realm.
Due to the coronavirus?
Yeah, due to coronavirus.
Yeah, it's not like they were already on a plane flying there, exposed to a bunch of people already. They just cancel it right when they get there.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
Wasn't it? I think it
I
was.
mean, I guess, I don't know. Jesus.
Like
That
24
should be the guy
hours
who didn't
is
make that
fucked up.
decision.
I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do. I'm not in charge of these things, and I'm glad I'm not, because I would say, fuck it, play through. But, yeah.
It's probably early enough in the coronavirus that they could probably get away with it.
Yeah, but there's all that latent transmission. You know, I don't know. We're all virologists here. Go outside, cough on one another. We'll be fine. I guess moving on from that very serious topic that, you know, everyone's getting distressed about, we can talk about Grand Blue's DLC and Steam release, which is, it could be tomorrow or the next day. It depends on when they scheduled it on Steam servers. Is anyone else besides me picking it up on PC?
Probably not, since I spent $70 on the PS4 version.
Yeah.
But never say never.
I will probably buy it twice because PC is it's the experience to have with the video game.
Yeah, imagine Grand Blue. Imagine Charlotta in 4K. You could actually, like, see her on screen.
Oh, man.
Instead of her being a little nickel on some dumb 1080p setup.
It comes out, what, two days tomorrow? Or 2 days from now? Friday?
It's supposed to be the 13th, but they sometimes release it at, like, midnight or 11 p.m. our time. So it could be on the 12th at 11 p.m. Best case scenario. So,
Hey, speaking of Grand Blue, I saw this the results off of the Super Team Stick Bug or whatever. And they had a Vasaraga win that tournament.
yeah.
Yeah, the
It's
bottom
like
one
a NY
character
tournament.
win.
So is Vasaraga good? Should I play Vasaraga?
I think you can make any character work in this game at
Yes.
this point. I mean, I don't think people know what they're talking about in general because people are calling Ladiva bad, and I find that hilarious.
I totally agree. It seems to be a pretty balanced stream, or not stream, a pretty balanced game, sorry.
I think we do balance each other out. Good
yeah,
point, Mike.
Good point. So, it's weird. It
Okay,
depends
so
on where you're
I don't
from.
have it.
Go on,
I don't
sorry.
have the DLC, but what's the opinion on the DLC?
I'm excited for the DLC because I wish they would have shown more from the last trailer because I think we just got like one move from each character or something. But for me, I've yet to really fall in love with any one character in the base roster so far, and I bet a lot of people feel the same with how small the base cast is. So like the two characters I'm interested in for the upcoming DLC are Jita and Soriz. And I'd totally be down if Jita was just like the Sakura to Grand's Ken or something, but we didn't really see much of her in the trailer again besides her like kick that goes halfway across the screen. And Soriz mainly because I tend to gravitate towards those brawler characters. So looking forward to that whenever that comes out. I think it just said like April sometime.
Oh, so it's
What's the name of the old man character?
Yeah, the old man character is Soriz, the fucking.
Oh, so he's like a
just before
brawler guy.
this. Yeah. All they showed for him
That
was
seems
like an
kinda
auto
cool.
combo into one special move. So great.
I'm excited for it. I'm even more excited now that I realize that they're not staggering it. So it's like monthly almost that the game's getting new characters.
It is nice. We have no idea when Howmaru's coming out still.
Still.
It's nice when they just tell you. for sure.
Thanks, Akubo. It's only
I'm
been
still
10
waiting for
years.
Fakumram.
Yeah.
Fakumram, yeah, he's coming out too.
See, I'm worried
Also
that
an April release.
the
I
fuck
wonder if
you,
that's gonna
man.
get delayed just because of the. Because it seemed like they were gonna release them before. I mean, I think they're definitely gonna release them before TWT, but TWT got postponed.
Yeah, see,
So I
now
don't know
I'm
if they're gonna
worried
postpone
about it.
Fakumram.
Yeah, I hope Falk doesn't get killed by the corn virus too.
Yeah. We don't need another casualty. We need Namco to take a stand and release the goddamn DLC.
He needs to be Leroy release level so he can fight the Corona.
That's true. I think we should buff the whole cast so we can have some people defending us. But yeah, another game that's coming out on the 13th is that Neo 2 or whatever. Do you guys play those games?
Oh yeah, Neo 2.
I do not play those games. I played a little bit of them. I got Neo 1. I played a little bit of that, but I always lose. I don't know. I just always lose interest at some point.
Yeah, I think the only Souls-like game that I've ever finished was Sekiro, and I really enjoyed that one. I think I played Neo at the same time, but I just ended up liking Sekiro more, so I finished that instead. But I might revisit Neo. That might be fun to play through and check things out. I think you can create your own character this time, so you don't have to be some random dude with a sword from the West that's cutting people down in Japan.
Yeah, it definitely looked a little bit sus when I saw trailers for it. The original. Yeah, I'm not really into Souls games either, but everyone tries to get me on to the next one every time it comes out. They're like, oh man, fucking Dark Souls 2, so good. And then, oh, Bloodborne. No, I'm never going to play one.
Yeah.
If it's single player and I have to get good at it, what's the fucking point?
I got decently far in Bloodborne, I think. And then I played like the original Demon Souls.
Yeah, Demon
That
Souls
game.
is good. Oh, are you
It's
going to
just
talk
not for
smack
me.
on it? Go on.
I get lost. I can't find my way through the levels.
That
There's
is
this
true.
prison level in Demon Souls 1. I went in there and I probably spent like 3 hours and could not find a boss.
Well, you probably
Found like
played it
6
way
shortcuts
after.
and 6 locked doors and could not find my way to the boss.
I could see that. I'm remembering the area you're talking about, and you probably played it when like barely anyone was on the servers, so you probably didn't have a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of
for sure.
direction from other players because it's kind of like a cooperative experience.
I remember there was this one part where this guy it was like probably the only guy that was online, but I don't know how I did it, but he came into my game and he just like walked me through this whole level. And it was like a maze too to get through this whole. He just walks me through it all, and then we get to the boss, and then I fight the boss. But
Damn.
it's just I get lost. I cannot find my way around. It's just not for me.
Yeah. I guess
need a
we're all
mini
on
map.
board then. I guess we all just don't give a shit about Souls games. I like that. This is like a safe space for me.
Solidarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's shit talk Souls games all day.
Hell yeah.
Trigger all of the Twitch viewers right now.
So fucking tired of them Souls fans, man.
I'm tired of Souls fans too. No kid, no lie. Actually, I'm tired. Of Souls.
Oh, damn. He found a way to transition back.
Oh man.
Well, you know, another game that's coming up, I guess we could talk about is Guilty Gear Strive. Sounds like everyone's still shitting on it. I haven't heard a single good thing about that game, but I want to highlight that I didn't hear a single good thing about Grand Blue either.
That is true.
So,
Now everybody loves it.
yeah. This is not called Guilty Gear 4. I need to continue to tell people that, or Quadruple X, or whatever the fuck they would call it.
Quad Z.
Quad Z, yes. I mean, they are calling this one Quad Z because it's putting Guilty Gear fans to sleep right now. Like, that's all I hear on Twitter. The game definitely looks very different from traditional Guilty Gear. But it's more of like, what did they call that Guilty Gear game? Isuka or something? It's like
Something like that.
Yeah, it's like some weird like tag version of the game where they tried a bunch of new weird stuff. And some of that stuff made it into Xrd, if I remember right. So this is kind of like a testing ground where they can just like create a new game but not make the main IP, which is something I wish Tekken would do, or, you know, like we were talking about, some offshoot game that is easier to make. Sounds like this is easier to make, but the graphics are gorgeous on the game.
Yeah, the game looks nice. I think for me, I hope they change it. I think the UI looks really bad right now.
Oh man, it looks awful.
Oof. Looks like Fortnite.
But
And like the the counter hit thing.
Oh,
where
I
like,
love the counter
it says
hits.
counter hit.
I like how over
it's,
the top it is.
It's so bad that it's like hilarious to me.
yes, it's so bad it's good. And I wish they would make it bigger and scroll across the screen in like Comic Sans or like Times New Roman, some really like garish font. Oh,
I will say this, as a 3D player, I find it really weird how 2D games like tell you everything on the side of the screen.
well, isn't that what Tekken does? It says counter hit on the side.
Not during the match.
Yeah, it does. Does it not?
No, it doesn't.
Soul Calibur does.
And like in what's it in Grand Blue? Like it tells you if it's a counter hit. It tells you if it's
I think
invincible
Grand Blue
move.
is an exception.
It tells you if you're on the ground. It tells you if it's what is it? If you put the right input or
Yeah.
whatever.
Grand Blue's over the top.
Grand Blue goes ham on that.
Like
Yeah.
I remember when I was trying to play Street Fighter 5, there was like I was reading something. It's like you can confirm the counter hit by looking for the thing on the side of the screen. And I thought it was like the weirdest thing ever.
Or you can look at the stun bar. The stun bar is the right way to do it.
Why? Because it does more stun if it's counter hit or something.
Oh,
Or does it like?
I guess
shake or
on
something?
counter hit confirm, yeah. Counter hit confirms I've heard are really visual confirms. Like you look at the character. Oh my god, Genie's talking shit about Strive. Boo! Boo!
Oh, get this guy out of
Oh,
here.
we just talking shit. Or I guess we still are talking about Strive. I was talking shit about Strive, I guess.
George is talking shit about Strive. I guess you two can start your own goddamn podcast. This is a Strive positive zone.
Oh, this is Strive friendly, and we were right about we were on the same page with the souls, but not.
I will say I am committed to giving it a chance, especially since everyone flip-flops so fucking hard on Grand Blue. There's a good shot that people will like Strive.
I mean, I think the game will probably be fine. I think the UI is ugly, and I wish that I think I'll probably try to play Potemkin in that game, and I think he stands really stupidly, and I wish he looked differently.
Subway sandwich.
Oh,
Like Soul looks different, and then Kai looks different. I wish Potemkin looked different.
that's true. Well, he does look different enough, but
Does he though? I think he just looks the same as he does in XRD.
he has like, I don't know, he's got a different cut to his jib. Let me go refresh my memory.
I think it's just mostly his stance, honestly, but
Which I think looks stupid.
I heard Fab doesn't like the game that much, and he's like the best Potemkin player in Exerd, so take that
Oh.
what you will.
Yes, okay, so
And
they
I-
didn't redesign
I
him.
liked his slide head move, and I hear it's not unblockable anymore. Seems kind of lame.
Damn, slide
Is
head is
there
not
unblockable?
unblockable.
Isn't unblockable anymore.
Wow, what's the point of that move then?
I don't know. I thought it was a unique move before that. I was like, oh, this is actually cool. Because then you like do it, and then you like dash at them, then you're like in their face.
I mean, slide head
But
was
then that was,
like
like,
the most
blockable.
iconic move of his. I guess there's Pot Buster, but that goes without saying. He's a grappler. Slide head is like the first thing you think of when it's like past the grappler.
And I wish they would show the that samurai guy, that black samurai dude.
Oh yeah, Leroy 2.0.
Because I'll probably play that guy, but they haven't actually shown any gameplay of him, so I don't know if he's my type.
We've been on a drip feed for Guilty Gear content.
Because they haven't announced. That's the only new character they've shown, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because
The
all
rest
the
have
other ones
been
are like
like
returning.
in the OG Guilty Gear, and I think they're trying to bring all those base characters back before they do anything crazy.
Well, they just had that thing where they had to postpone a reveal, right?
Yeah. Well, they were canceling their trip here, and people weren't sure they're gonna like show the trailer at all. And then they like went back on Twitter and was like, "Oh, we're gonna just upload the video instead of attending final round or some shit or whatever tournament they were gonna reveal it at."
Okay.
So
So
we are still getting it.
it kind of sounds like this is gonna come out this year to me. So it doesn't
Yeah, I
sound
think
like it's
that's what
that far
I would
off.
think
the
so.
You don't
end
think
of
so?
2020 was the
I
expected.
said I would think so,
Oh yeah, yeah.
just because it's been in development for a while.
But it could launch like Grand Blue, where it has 11 characters or some weird thing.
Hope not.
That would piss people off so much.
I think 16 is like the sweet spot number for early releases, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll settle for 14, but 11 is like cutting it real close.
It is weird to think about, though, because when you look back at old fighting games, 14 was a pretty robust roster.
Times are different.
It's
I
really
think the
different.
original Blaze Blue had about that many
Yeah.
characters too until they expanded to like 50 some.
Well, fuck, the first version of Tekken 7 had like 15. That's crazy to think about because it has like, what, 54 now?
Yeah, it like tripled in
Yeah, but I mean,
size over
I
a
think
few
the
years.
first, because they released like the characters, like it would be like, a couple weeks later, add a new one, a couple
Yeah.
weeks later, add a new
It was
one. A couple weeks
bi-weekly
later.
they would make a new character, I remember. Because it would be like, oh god, we're seeing Bob. We don't want to see Bob on our screen. What the fuck? We got back to Tekken, so why don't we go into the next topic? And I think we have 2 or 3 more, so we have opinions on patch culture. And I wanted to focus on the way Namco has balanced Tekken 7 versus Tekken Tag 2, because it was so drastically different. If you don't know, Tekken Tag 2 was an arcade game just like Tekken 7. It had a base version, and it was updated, I think, once. And then they made Tekken Tag 2 Unlimited, and that's where they added a bunch of characters and a bunch of balance adjustments. And they really didn't edit that too much and just put it on the console. And then when it came to console, they patched it 3 times, and that was it for the entire lifespan of the game. Versus Tekken 7, we know it's been patched about 455 times. Which style do you like more, Dame?
Well, I wasn't around for the Tag 2 era. I'm a dirty 17er, so I can't really speak on that. But recently, it feels like, especially now, we've gotten like a patch every other month, it feels like, especially with Leroy, who they like released with the intention of patching him later, even, which I find absolutely ridiculous. I like it when games have an opportunity to like kind of mature the meta without like people crying about, oh, this character is too strong, nerf him like immediately as the patch comes out. But think of it this way: the tournament where Leroy was at full strength at Evo Japan, that top 8 was pretty damn hype.
It was.
Everyone was rooting for fucking Julia player and anti Leroy. It makes for a good spectator sport, but I bet playing in that environment might not be that fun for players. So they will definitely sound off on Twitter until they get what they want. And I think that's my least favorite part about it. The fact that on Twitter, you have like that connection to the whoever, Michael Murray or Harada, and you cry every day to get what you want. And it's a bad way of going about it. I don't like that look.
Yeah, listening to the community is like one of the saddest things that a dev can do. Like, don't do that. Don't listen to some crybaby Eliza Main. Well, they don't listen to Eliza Main, sorry. Don't listen to some...
Sorry, Chanel.
Yeah, Zafina fan or something. I mean, Zafina's in the game because they were cowards and listened to the Twitter stands. George, how do you feel about the difference in patch philosophy?
I definitely prefer the T7 philosophy just because, I want my characters to be good, and King wasn't that good in Tag 2, so being able to rectify that is always good. I don't think that necessarily they've been patching it too much. The Leroy is kind of like an aberration, I think, and I agree with Dame. The culture around it is pretty bad, and I think that people going on Twitter or Twitch chat and complaining about this character's OP, whatever it is, like, definitely not a good look. But I think that's kind of a good problem to have, because that means people are playing the game and they care and et cetera, et cetera. You know, one thing I don't I just feel like maybe there might be like people who are watching the game, like people who, you know, we get Tekken gets pretty good viewership. I think people who watch the game maybe kind of put themselves in the place of a player. Like I'm not talking about like a top player. I'm talking about like people who play the game. Yeah, even just, you know, play online or whatever. I think there's people who watch the game and talk about the game a lot, but don't play the game a lot. And I think that they're having like maybe an undeserved influence on the balance of the game.
Certainly.
If you can understand what I'm saying.
I could see that, but I think I have a tiny bit of faith that they're listening to at least like somebody who has a somewhat legitimate complaint about the game, but I don't think humans know what's broken or not for a long while. So kind of conceding to repeated patching is dangerous. But there is one positive in my opinion, which is it really shakes the game up on stream. Because, you know, in Season 1 we had Jack, Dragonov, and Kasumi every single top 8. And, you know, Season 2 came, and then suddenly it's Geese and fucking Dragonov again, of course. And Season 3, it's been really, you know, it's been varied as a spectator, which I think is good. But that's kind of artificial, just like the League of Legends model, where they kind of enforce that.
I think they've done a good job because they've put more characters in the spotlight. But like, you know, Jack could still come in and win a tournament. Kazumi could still come in and win a tournament. But then you have characters like that, Geese, Akuma, now Leroy. They could do a good job of making it possible to win with more characters while keeping the characters less represented, but still strong enough to do what they were already doing. Like, you know, Jack, he relies on 441 a lot less, but his game plan is still generally the same. Like Kazumi, same. Yeah, I just think they do a good job of not gutting characters, keeping them strong, and then strengthening other characters.
I think they've done a pretty good job with balancing 7 with all of the patching. I mean, the game has had severely broken spells. I mean, through the arcade, I think some of Season 2 was broken, and I definitely think a lot of Season 3 has been broken so far. But for the large majority, they've gotten their checks right, I think. But it is weird to feel the developers forced, like, meta changes. Where they're like, okay, the Dragonov meta's over. We're gonna show you over here to, oh, door number 2, it's Geese Howard. He's super good. You guys should play him. It's a little weird.
I feel you on that. But do you feel like the invisible hand? I mean, I think with, you know, if esports grows and grows and grows, I think it's definitely going to be a thing more than not. Like they're not going to want, you know, Gigas in top 8 when there's 250,000 viewers on ESPN.
I mean, I would want to watch Gigas if I was like some normie on the street. Are you kidding me?
What they want is there to be one Gigas player who makes top 16, and he's from a small town, and this is his breakout tournament, and then they zoom in on his mom or something. That's what they want. They don't want Gigas winning the tournament.
Wait a second. Why don't we want Gigas winning?
Story. They want Heihachi to win the tournament. They want Dragunov to win the tournament.
Nobody likes Dragunov. They want
Geese Howard to win the tournament.
Okay, Geese I'll take. Dragunov nobody cares about. Heihachi I could see. Face of the franchise. But normies don't know anything. If they see some big ass, like, Bane looking motherfucker, that's who the ESPN normies are rooting for.
See, Kuma had his day in the sun, and then they made sure it was never going to happen.
Yeah, that is such bullshit. Like, deleting a low tier character.
I mean, I don't know. I definitely think there's an invisible hand. I don't know what characters they want to win or not to win. But, like, hard to believe that there isn't an invisible hand. Because I think they could very easily make Gigas a better character. And there's something that's stopping them from doing it.
Yeah. Which is why I kind of liked it when they just, like, didn't have any balance patches after the 3rd patch. Because then, like, the community kind of bend everything to, you know, new tech would be discovered. Some random character would jump a full tier because they figured out an unblockable tag assault setup. You know, like, I liked that a little bit, but I see the benefit of both. It's interesting. As a spectator, I think Tekken 7's balancing is much better because it feels
Do you
like
think that
go
do you
on.
think that it's affected like other games, like say Street Fighter Five?
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like Street Fighter Five more so than Tekken. I think it's obvious that like Capcom is balancing characters with the intent of making a good product to show.
But the crazy thing about Street Fighter 5 is I think that game is incredibly balanced. Like you'll often see a top 8 with 8 different characters. Whereas I don't remember the last time I saw a Tekken top 8 with 5 different characters.
I think I could probably find.
You probably could find one, but like I think there was that like wasn't it Evo Japan that the top 32 of Street Fighter 5 was 32 different characters?
Yeah, some ridiculous stat like that. You have
That's
a character
incredible.
like Sakura, who's never won anything before in Street Fighter Five, just coming out with the Sakura specialists and winning like the past few big tournaments. So it's good to see.
Yeah.
Means your game balance is healthy at least.
It's crazy. That game is incredibly balanced. I mean, they've had little spells with like Rashid or Nash in season 1, but there really hasn't been like the biggest boogeyman that the game's ever had was Akuma, and that character is not like Leroy's here. And I mean, Street Fighter 5 and Tekken 7's basically doing the same thing, where they're just like season model, League of Legends, patch every, I don't know, 3 months. Keep the game fresh for the players and spectators. Basically nerf who's getting the most
All right,
screen
so
time.
the first example I could find was TWT 2019 Final. That was the first one I looked up. But if you count, so do you count like one player plays two characters? Count that two characters, just one.
I guess it depends on who they played while I watched.
Well, in top eight, you had Geese, Akuma, Kazumi, Bob, Steve, Paul, Brian, Jack Seven, Law, Dragunov, and Shaheen.
That's a pretty decent one. Was that season 2?
That was the end of season two. I think the only big tournament after season three was Evo Japan, right?
That sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
Season 2 was interesting. There was like a balance spell in there before everyone realized that Geese and Akuma were fucked up.
True, true.
But yeah, I guess it's just really we live in different times, and I got to accept the idea that this new style of patching is the law now, and it's not. I don't mind it. It's just weird. It's just weird to me.
I just think with like the days of like making a fighting game and letting the meta develop is over.
It's completely
Like
over.
with Strive, they're like taking
Sure.
out all these like super strong mix-ups and all this type of stuff intentionally.
Yeah,
And I think that's every game nowadays is more intentional in how they're creating mix-ups, what they're allowing you to do, what they don't want you to do, et cetera, et cetera.
that's so sad because the coolest shit in fighting games to me is like the story of how long it took for people to discover Urian's infinites in Third Strike, or that bumped him up 4 tiers, or just like random shit people have like figured out to balance the meta themselves is so cool to me, and like that is over. That will never come back.
Well, with these days, you got like Twitter, and I think discovering tech happens a lot faster, and it spreads much faster than it did in the past as well. So it's kind of counterbalanced by that.
That is true. That is true. But then that means let's have a yearly patch. Let's cut the bullshit and have one patch per year.
Per year, besides from bugs.
That's a pipe
I'm fine
dream.
with that.
That's crazy to think. That's a pipe dream, because I remember being a Soul Calibur 5 player, and the idea of getting a patch even yearly was like, wow, they really care about us. But no, that's like you're a dog shit fighting game if you only get one patch a year.
Yeah, actually, that's the part I don't like. Like, people think the game constantly needs to be changed. Like you just said, it's a dog shit fighting game if you don't get a patch. But it's like sometimes you just don't need a patch. Just
Yeah.
let the game live.
Just let the game live, man. I really hope the last version of Tekken 7, like the last patch, is good. Because Tekken 7's been a good game, but we've never played the same game the entire time. So it could end on a bad note, and then we would have to play a bad version of Tekken 7 for the rest of time. And that's crazy, because we love this game.
Right.
I think Tekken 8 is going to replace Tekken 7. So
No, it
if
will,
does
but
end on a
like you
bad
want to go
patch,
back and
then
play.
There's going to be on Tekken 8.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like people go back and play DR, and DR's still there, and it ended on a good note. Whereas like T7, you can't be like, I want to play version D in the arcade because that was my favorite. You have to end on the last patch. So we gotta hope that that last patch is really good.
Give us a version selector.
That would be godlike.
Season 1 Kazumi versus Leroy at his peak.
Nah, dude, give me fucking version A Rashid, or not Rashid, Shaheen.
Helicopter.
He was Rashid in version A. That motherfucker did the spinning mixer with 4-1. Yeah, so I guess we could move on a little bit. George, do you want an opportunity for a soapbox, or was that was the patch a nice little soapbox for you?
The patch was all right. I don't know what I would soapbox other than, I don't know, talking shit on Souls fans.
Yeah, we've had impassioned soapboxes for the last hour, I feel like. So very quickly, there's no TLF announcement yet, so I don't know what to tell you. I kind of wanted somebody to hop on and reveal that, but nobody has, so no news there.
Carpet's still being cleaned. Probably. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
And,
It'll
coronavirus. Yeah, I get it. So we can end this podcast with the current Boomer Grounds meta. George, I know you missed out on this, but me and Dame last night on Deuce's stream. Actually, let's talk about Nebraska fighting game communities like Twitch streams, because it seems like we all got ones. Like, we got Deusta, we got me, we got Wes, we got... Who else?
I think Cal streamed once in the past couple weeks.
Cal streams. So. Obviously, Eli streams. He streams all our tournaments and shit.
Genie could start streaming. I'd watch those for sure.
Yeah, Genie could start streaming. I'm into that.
He already has his whole pantry of emotes he can use of his own face in the chat. It's perfect.
He's already
Genie's gonna start streaming?
I wish.
Oh, that's what you guys were saying.
Nah. But yeah, essentially, Deusta started streaming this weird Bomberman clone yesterday. And there was like 12 of us queuing up on this weird Battle Royale Bomberman clone last night. And he's streaming it right now, so I'm imagining when we end this podcast, I'm going to go queue up.
What's Deuce's stream?
It's twitch.tv/THEDUESTA.
And whenever he posts the link, he never actually posts a clickable link. You'll have to copy and paste it in your browser every time. But yeah, it started out as a shit post on his stream, and it quickly became the favorite pastime of our community. So
yeah,
it's the Bomberman.
Yeah, it's an indie game. You love these kind of games, right? George, that you play.
Yeah, George would be super into this. I better see you downloading this when the shit ends.
I'm watching it right now. So he's like a chicken thing.
I mean, you can dress your dude up however you want.
Man, what is up with this? You just got... This is not Bomberman. You got like 3 bombs just from the start?
You start with 3 bombs.
And you gotta beat people's heads in.
Dude, it's the shit. It's fun. I think
so you blow up to other people, right?
Yeah, you still blow them up, or you can whack them with a bat full charge, and that kills them.
But the goal is to kill the other team.
No, there's no team. It's like Battle Royale, you versus everyone.
Oh, is there...
So we were queuing up, like it only lets you queue up with 3 people in your team, but we're all against each other, even though we're queuing together. So we learned throughout last night that Nick is the best Bomberman player. But, we need more research. I think, I downloaded it on my phone and I'm in the lab. I'm in the lab.
Oh, so this is a phone game.
No, it's on Steam
Nah, it's
too.
on Steam. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
We'll send you the link. We'll hook you up because I think we should have a podcast queue up stream.
See, now I'm gonna play this instead of fighting games. So you just doomed yourself for me ducking for
I mean, dude, that's what
Play it
everyone's
yourself.
doing.
another month.
There's no TLF, so what the fuck we playing fighting games for? No reason. Absolutely no
I
reason.
mean, true. This is how we're gonna get through the quarantine.
Yeah, this is our quarantine game. So there's really that's it. So let's move on to props and bitch callings. Who is ready?
I got one. Props to Rush Hour 2 on VHS. That's a godlike name.
That is a godlike name.
Rush
Alright.
Hour 2 on
Is
VHS.
that Chad? I don't think I've met him, but let's play offline sometime. Got
Chad's
a pretty good
godlike.
deal. I
We-
like that.
Yeah, we
Mr.
love
Green
Chad.
plays Bomber Grounds too.
Well, shit, he better be queuing up with us tonight then.
We got a room dedicated to him, a voice channel just in his name.
Yeah, we can do Mr. Green's voice channel for this even. Any bitch calling?
Bitch calling. Probably Duesta for being a bitch in Bomber Grounds and hiding the entire time.
Hey, that's
That's not
me.
the way to
You're
go,
calling me a
man.
bitch too? I respect that. Any props or bitch callings from you today, George?
Let's say I don't know.
Damn. Okay, let me give you some
Hey,
time.
actually, no. Let me give some props to you guys. Don't know them, but my two buddies, we just beat the behemoth in Monster Hunter World.
Oh,
Props to
God.
them for actually getting good and actually letting us actually beat that guy.
This man's gonna talk shit on Souls games and then go play Monster Hunter. Fuck this dude.
Monster Hunter is not a Souls
Damn,
game.
man.
I'm not saying it's a Souls
It's a
game.
good one. It's a good game.
I'm not saying it's a Souls game, but
So there's
It's
good
not
games or there's
Souls-like.
Souls games.
But me and my buddies, we made a pact that we wouldn't get the Iceborne expansion until we beat the behemoth. And then I took a long break because I was tired of grinding for shit. And then when I came back, we finally beat the behemoth, and now I'm playing that Iceborne. So also shout outs to Monster Hunter Iceborne.
hell not coming back to the FGC for a while. You're gonna be MIA till June.
Where's George?
All right. Well, I know my bitch calling now.
Let me see. Bitch calling. I would say. I don't know.
Damn, you just okay. Let me cut in here
Let me
and I'll
think
do
about it.
mine.
Let me think about it.
Yeah, think about it. I never thought I'd do this, but the props are gonna have to go in. I'll even say it properly this time. Goes out to Duesta for showing us the Bomber Grounds and having a. It was just a wonderful night. I really enjoyed myself, Duesta. Thank you. And for bitch
He showed us the
calling,
light.
bitch calling absolutely easily goes to Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter for taking George away from us until June. We're not gonna see this man because that game never fucking ends. Yeah.
You're not wrong.
So
You know, I'll call Monster Hunter a bitch too.
damn,
because-
that's you can't props and bitch call.
Well, to be fair, I gave props to my buddies for playing Monster Hunter. I'll call Monster Hunter a bitch because it's just, if you guys played Monster Hunter World, the weapon designs are pretty whack, and it's the same in Iceborne, and I'm disappointed about it.
I did hear Ed complaining about that. I have no idea. I've never played Monster Hunter before, but yeah, he was displeased with the
All
weapon
right, so
selection.
just give you some context. Basically, in Monster Hunter, you kill monsters, and you make weapons with their corpse, essentially. And so, like in the previous games, each monster, they all look different, and so basically each weapon was like based on the monster. So it'd be like a hammer, but it would be like based on this. It looked the same color as the monster. It'd be kind of like inspired by the monster. This is like a lot of cool designs. Everyone's unique. And in this one, it's like half the weapons are just like the handle of the weapon, and you like glue on like some feathers from the monster. So it's like super lazy. I don't know why they did it. Because in all the previous games, like all the weapons had unique designs, and this one is like half of them have the same design, half of them are just the same design with some shit glued onto it. It's just really disappointing.
Well, that even strengthens my bitch calling, I think, because now it's everything you just said and taking George away from us, and I've never played it, so it's the easiest bitch calling I've ever made. So George got too lost in the vortex. It's true. Oh, NBA just suspended the season. Oh man,
What the fuck?
you serious?
It's okay. It's okay. Monster Hunter. Maybe I'll get bored of it. Who knows?
Damn,
I'll probably
George,
show up to a TLF at some
George,
point.
pay attention here. Monster hunting's corrupting your brain. NBA
Genie
has just
says
been
I'm too
suspended.
lost in the vortex.
NBA has just been suspended, George. Get out of the Monster Hunter vortex for a second.
Wait, what?
NBA
legit?
suspends the season. Legit.
You lying to me. I'm looking this up right now.
It's not a joke.
lying
I'm
to me.
reading NBA.
Oh my god, it's legit. What the fuck? Isn't there a
Yeah,
game
you
going
just
on
shit
right
posted.
now?
Hey, wait a second. We have a $20
Nuggets
bet.
Mavericks just end the third quarter. What the fuck?
Me and
What are they doing?
a jazz player tested positive for coronavirus.
Oh my god, I knew it. I knew if one player got it, it was over.
Dude, this is bullshit. We have
Shut
a
down
$20
fucking
bet.
everything.
We have a $20 bet
Of
for
course.
LeBron, winning or not. And now I'm not gonna be able to see that shit.
It's gonna turn into
Oh
a
my
$20 money
God.
match.
Yeah,
Rudy
see me in VF.
Gobert. Rudy Gobert. Wait. I just saw some shit about dude. There's just a video that came out. Rudy Gobert was in his his interview touching all the mics and all the cameras or whatever like that. And now he got the coronavirus. What the fuck?
Oh god,
It's like actually something from like a movie.
Oh jeez.
Oh. Well, that's so sad.
This is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. How you Rudy Gobert? Come on, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There's literally a video of him touching up all the mics.
Here we go.
It needed it.
Play the sad Shenmue notebook music.
Yeah, please
Someone
play
needs
it.
to go back and check the
Cue it
the
up.
incubation period and let me know if LeBron's at risk.
Well,
How
LeBron's
long
got
ago did the Jazz play the Lakers?
dude.
Is
LeBron's
LeBron at
impervious.
risk? Or how long did the Jazz play a team that then played the Lakers?
Oh, everyone in the NBA is getting it, but LeBron's protected because that like weave he's got on or whatever the hell that hairpiece is. That's the vaccine. We're gonna find out.
Nah, I trust LeBron. He's got some designer stem cells. If he gets infected, he just inject up. He's good.
He's hella stem celled out. All right,
Wait,
well, that's
Genie saying Tom Hanks got the coronavirus?
yeah. I guess Genie's on the case
You
always.
fucking kidding me?
Do you have the Twitter post confirming this, Genie? This is important.
Tom
Post
Hanks
this.
and Rita Wilson
Discord.
test positive for coronavirus.
God damn. Well, this is a good way to end the coronavirus edition.
Damn, shut it all down.
Yeah, shut it down.
Shut down the podcast. I don't feel
Yeah.
safe in here.
Just shut down the podcast, guys. NBA shut down, and so are we. So I think we'll see you in 2 weeks because we covered a lot today, and it doesn't sound like anything's gonna be going on in the next 2 weeks because we're shutting it all fucking down apparently.
And they're about to shut Discord down too.
Shit.
Yeah. So we'll see you in I'm gonna say 2 weeks, but it could be a month, honestly. So guys,
Could be all dead.
we might be all dead. Have a good one.